everybody, welcome back. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the new subscribers, and I really appreciate everybody. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, a lot of compliments, and I really appreciate it. Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about molting chickens. This here is Muffin. As you can see, there's a lot of missing feathers here underneath the back of her neck, on top of her wings here, and behind her tail. Now, when I see a chicken with missing feathers, I don't always assume that it's molting because other things can cause missing feathers. The first thing I check for is actually lice, because if a chicken has a bug problem, they might lose feathers because of it. If I rule out lice, then I check to make sure that they're not getting picked on, because if you have a chicken that's getting picked on, the other chickens might be pulling the feathers out. Now with lice, you'll usually see them at the back of the neck and behind the vent. Behind the vent is where the bugs lay the eggs. You'll actually see little crusty gray eggs back there. And there's also mites, northern mites or red mites, and those are harder to get rid of because they can actually live in the coop on the walls, in cracks in the coop, and things like that. So when you treat, you have to make sure you get every little nook and cranny, because those are really hard to get rid of. Regular lice mainly just live on the bird. You still need to treat everything, but it's a little easier to treat because lice live off of the feather dander that the chicken produces. Now there's a couple ways of treating. You can use what's called garden and poultry dust. I use that because it's safer, easier to find, not that expensive. Otherwise, some people use what's called 7 dust, but there's added chemicals in that, so I prefer the garden and poultry dust myself. When you use that and you're treating for lice or mites, it's important to wear a mask when you're applying it around because it's dangerous to breathe it in. Now, like I said, if I can rule out those two things, there's no lice, she's not getting picked on, then I'm pretty sure it's molting. Right now it's winter time, so it's not normal for a bird to be molting this time of year. Usually it's in the spring and in the fall. But what I think happened with Muffin here is she was molting as normal in the fall, but I had a rooster that was favoring her, which also happens. Now the hen to roo ratio is a minimum of 3 hens per 1 roo. Now I have 20 hens and only had 2 roosters, but sometimes things just don't work out too well with your ratios there. It depends on your rooster. But anyways, he was just mating with this chicken way too much, and the new feathers that were coming in were breaking off. And so now Muffin's feathers might not totally grow back until her next molt actually. So I've had to keep her inside because it's just way too cold for her to be out there with all these missing feathers. I went out there one day, I was keeping her out there, but I went out there when it was like 18 degrees and she was just shivering so much. Now you can also find what's called a hen saddle, which is this right here. That could protect a hen from a rooster. You just put it on the back and then the wings go through the stirrup things here. But I don't use these. I kind of feel like it might prevent more feathers from coming in correctly, or it might still cause those feathers to break off. But this is something you can try, a hen saddle here. Keep in mind that when they're molting this badly, it can be painful for them. So you want to keep handling them to a minimum. Now another thing you can do for molting chickens is increase their protein intake in the feed. There's a feed out there called Feather Fixer. Right now it's not feasible for me to go out and buy a 50-pound bag with only one molting bird. Now, if you have room in your freezer, you could potentially freeze the unused feed, but I don't have room in my freezer, so what I do is get protein for her from other sources. Fish, especially tuna, but rinse it really good first. Mealworms, crickets, scrambled eggs. Now, some people might say, isn't it kind of strange to feed an egg back to a chicken? But if you think about it, when a chick is developing inside the egg, they actually feed from the yolk, and that's how they sustain and they grow. There's so much nutrition in an egg yolk. It's actually really, really good for them. So that's what I do for Muffin here, is I give her a protein boost, and we're just going to have to wait it out either until her feathers grow back in or until the weather warms up, which I'd like to see ASAP here. But so that's my plan with Muffin. She's a little tired here because she just laid an egg. But those are my tips for molting chickens. Make sure that you rule out other problems first. Any questions, you can always email me. Again, thanks for watching. One last thing here, folks. I just want to give an update about the free giveaway I want to do. Still working on it. Currently working through the rules and the laws about YouTube giveaways. My goal is to do the giveaway once I have 50 subscribers. So please share the channel, share button right down there. And then we can get to the 50 number and I can do the giveaway. Really appreciate it. Now, what's in the giveaway? Well, it's going to be a gift basket, and it's going to have different chicken treats in it. It's going to have some things for chicken health, a calendar, and some fun stuff for you as well. So please share the channel so we can meet that goal there and get more people involved. Hoping to get it started within the next week or so. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.